You had mentioned the consumer. What have your consumers or customers said about the kiosk?
You know, we've gotten a fairly good response about it, but it's been a fairly good response by how we were expecting it to be. We never expected the kiosk or any self-service technology to overtake one's entire operations. You know, we see it as the goal we like to have for it is 20%. We want 20% of all of our transactions to come in through that kiosk. You know, when you go to the grocery store, you know, there might be 20 aisles, 18 of them are manned, and then there's the 2 that are unmanned. It's about providing the choice to those who want it. And as you know, we've had these kiosks there from coming up on 2 years now. As we've trained our customers more and more of them use it, we're actually greatly over that 20% number at all of our facilities. And it's when we have times that the kiosk has had to be down, this has either been, you know, a technical reason, or sometimes we've actually done some more construction around the property. We've had to move a kiosk somewhere else. During those times, we definitely hear the customers who've used it the most say, "It wasn't there. You know, I'm waiting for, you know, I came to make my payment, it wasn't there anymore. I didn't even know how to make a payment otherwise," which is, you know, kind of a funny side story. You would think that somebody would have thought to even call, but they get so used to one way of doing it, when it's not there, you know, it's a big deterrent for them.
So on a monthly basis, do you feel you get additional rentals by having an Insomniac at your facility?
We do. We know for a fact exactly what the additional rentals are for during the after hours. You know, and it is not an overwhelming number, you know, when you think of it like that. If you think of just the hours that you're not staffed and the leases that you saw get picked up, you have to ask yourself, was that a rental that you would have gotten the next day anyways? We're not exactly sure, but what we are sure of is what every one of those rentals means to us. So however we got it, we put a lot of stock in that. Even if that person might have come back the next morning if we didn't have a kiosk, we can't be sure of that. And it's very important that when somebody wants to rent, when they need to rent, that they can rent a unit at our facilities. The other side of it is, how many rentals have we gotten because they like the image of a storage facility with a kiosk? Or even though it was during business hours, how many of those rentals were when the manager was off doing something else? We don't know that number exactly, and the exact number is a little less important to the overall freedom that the kiosk gives our management.
So have you been able to cost justify the expense of the Insomniac?
We have. If you look at the number, I mean, if you know exactly what a rental means to your facility, we do it at each one of our facilities. We know when somebody walks in and they rent any size unit, we know what that person is going to, on average, mean to our company in terms of revenue. When you can look at it that way and really see with one rental what it can do, we can very much justify the cost. But we frankly can justify the cost before we even get any rental, with just, again, the spare time that it gives our manager to do more important things.
Can you put any value on the convenience aspect of the kiosk for existing customers' ability to make payments?
The value is, there's 2 values. There's for the customer as well as for us. Being a company that remotely manages facilities and being away from the facilities for so long, our call center is located here in Chicago. So when a customer calls here and gets our call center here, if they need to make a payment and they don't have a credit card, or they don't feel comfortable giving it out over the phone, we know that we can tell them to go to that facility and they can make their payment there when it's convenient for them, not just during the business hours. It is nice to always have an answer for a customer on the phone. When you can't facilitate them one way, knowing that we can say, you can go to the store at any hour of the day and make your payment, cash, credit, or check, that is a great convenience for us as well as the customer. The convenience for a customer, you know, unfortunately I'm not a self-storage customer at the moment, and I can only imagine, I know with everything else I do when it comes to banking, even like I've said, going to the grocery store, the choice that I get to make between working with somebody versus, you know, going through a kiosk is very important to me. And we've seen a great response with the way that it's being used at all of our facilities.
Has the Insomniac in any way improved the overall value of your facility?
We absolutely believe so. When we bought our first kiosk, the idea of the kiosk and everything that could do to us was gravy on top of the fact that we think this will enhance the image of our real estate property. You know, our self-storage facility, though a business, is also a real estate business, and anything that we can do to make that property more attractive to both customers and to potential buyers is extremely important to us. It's the same as making sure, you know, the front door is clean, that the walls are painted, that the, you know, flag is you know, blowing in the breeze and not wrapped around. All of that is incredibly important to the perception of a property, and the kiosk, first off, was bought because we believed it would enhance that perception. All of the other things that it allows our company to do is great added benefits that add to the bottom line of our NOI, but it definitely enhances the perception of the property.
Michael, if you were to open up another self-storage facility, would you in fact staff it with people as well as an Insomniac?
Yes, especially at the size that we operate on. We feel that, especially over a certain size, around 200 units, that we need to have a person there. There's a number of reasons for that. Most of them are dealing with the customers. Most of them are dealing with that feedback that we get. Though the common tasks can be done by a kiosk, we feel we need and demand that feedback that a manager can get from our customers. The kiosk for us has never been a replacement for a human. It's been in addition to, and like I've said before, allows us to use our manager in a more effective way.
Thank you, Michael.